Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Get the Shot, brought to you by Tamron Australia. My name is Joe Orchard and I am your host today. Continuing on our series on having winners and runners-up from the Australian Photographer of the Year competition, I have Cassie McMahon. She was runner-up on the black and white category with a collection Parts of a Dog. You'll see them on screen now. It's quite a unique selection of photos and I'm really excited to dive into all of that. Cassie, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, it's a pleasure to have you. You've got a very interesting background. Photography is a rather new thing in your life, if I'm not mistaken.
It is a little bit, yeah. I guess so. I learned about photography in high school, and I did a lot of darkroom stuff back then. But then it's never really came back into my life until I was in the police and I got into the scenes of crime role, and yeah, sort of picked up camera again from there, and it's just sort of taken off from there again.
So working as a forensic scientist and then...
Not a scientist, but yeah.
Working in forensics and then moving into photography. Are there any parallels between the two of them?
Yeah, I think they really correlate because there's so much process to everything. So even when you do start to get really creative with your photography, you still have a process. Unless you leave everything to chance, you still have a process. Whether it's analog or digital, you're still going through step by step. So I think that's sort of how they relate. And I'm sort of like that. Anyway, I like to have the steps to go through to see an outcome, even if it is throwing something into the mix and just seeing what happens.
Let's get straight into your photos in the competition. Congratulations on getting the runners-up prize.
Thank you.
I really like what you've come up with here. One of our ambassadors at Tamron is a woman named Alex Kearns, and she does a lot of animal photography, and I believe she was actually a judge on this competition.
Oh, really? Wow.
So she's likely seen your photos as part of this entry.
That's awesome.
Tell me the process on doing these photos.
Oh gosh. So since we've moved down to Hobart here, I've got a lot more space, and I'm in my studio now, which sounds so weird to say that I have a little studio. I've got just like a little bit of space down here, and I've been able to set up a drop sheet, not a drop sheet, seamless paper, from my ceiling. So, and I have my lights and stuff like that. And it all sort of came about during my first year of uni last year, just trying to come up with a concept and sort of working with what I had. And I love dogs. I've got dogs. They're my babies. So yeah, just trying to work with them. They're all different too. So it just sort of all kind of went that way. So I try and have a few of them outside and just have one of them in front of my camera, but it's wild. Trying to work with animals is it's crazy. But I had the idea in my head of just capturing parts of them from the very beginning, which is a lot harder than what it sounds. So there was heaps and heaps of troubleshooting and just trying different lenses and just trying to get the right angles and stuff like that. So yeah.
What made you settle on the back sides of dogs and the back legs?
I think because I wanted to focus on something other than their actual portrait. When you think of a portrait, you always think of someone's face, and even though I think that's it's obviously a really strong narrative, you're looking into an animal's eyes or a person's eyes, I think sort of putting them all together and seeing their differences all together really helped that story of pointing out all of their differences, but they're still they're all still dogs, they're all still the same, but yeah, putting them all side by side, and like my low dogs and my tall dogs, and like they're all, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think it was probably more just intuitive, just seeing those images come together. But it was definitely something that I had when I was leading into it, though. Like, I had this idea that I didn't just want just looking at them straight on or just full body shots. I wanted something like a little bit different.
What made you decide to go black and white?
I just love black and white. I can't get away from black and white. Yeah. I think, I don't know, like, sorry if you can hear that. Gracie, hey.
Is this one of the dogs that was in the photos?
Grace. Yeah. Oh, hello. Can you see her? I don't know. You can't see her. No, I just love black and white. I don't know what it is. It's just like this pull towards it. I find it a lot easier to work with it. I think just being in that tonal range more than color. Even though I love color, it's just a lot more interesting with black and white. I think you see textures a lot better. You see lines a lot better. Grace, sorry.
It's all right.
She's
It's
like
all good.
pouring my chair. Come here then. Come here. Say hello. Look.
Oh, there we go. Hello.
Hey, look. Who's this? Sorry. Then you get. Yeah, I don't know. You just like. There's something about black and white, and I think especially when like moving into analog a lot more, being able to develop my own film in black and white is, yeah, I don't know.
This isn't the first time you've had something exhibited in a black and white sense. You have the roadside poles image. That's a wonderful photo. Do you want to tell me how you managed to capture that?
Yeah, so one of my mates, Tony, we were coming back down from the PSQ convention, so it's the Photographic Society of Queensland. They had theirs in Hervey Bay last year, so we were driving back down to Brizzy from that, and like, I think we were all sort of hopped up on all the different workshops and stuff that we'd just done, and we were really sort of into wanting to try something new and something different. And I'd done lots at ICM before, but these trees that we saw from the side of the road, we were just going down the highway and we're like, nah, turn around, come back in, check them out. And they were all like those really beautiful, really pale eucalyptus that you see, but they're all together, and I had no idea that they were like an actual like tree farm. It was really weird. Like, you only see like pine trees. Well, I've only seen pine trees as tree farms. Yeah, and we just stopped over for like, I don't know, half an hour or something like that on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere between Hervey Bay and Brisbane, and yeah, sort of started trying to use those type of techniques again and just seeing what we came up with. And yeah, it turned out, I love it. I love the photo.
It's interesting with that photo compared to the dogs, because the dogs, you're in your set, you've got your backgrounds, there's a lot of preparation and trial and error. However, with that photo in particular, that was rather impulsive and just figuring all that out there. Do you like to work in a more controlled environment, or do you sort of just like doing different things?
It's really weird. It's a bit of both. I'm a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde. Like, I love having process, and I love knowing that with the lighting setup and my settings on my camera and everything's right and the background's right. I love knowing that what I'm going to get on the back of the camera is what I've set up. But I also really enjoy going out and just seeing what happens. Like, I do really like going out for street photography and stuff like that as well. A bit of everything. I think I'm just sort of in that phase of this kind of journey that I want to just try everything and see how it all feels and what I'm sort of attracted to. But yeah, like, just want to try a little bit of everything.
What made you want to study photography and go back to uni?
Gosh. I think once again, it's something that's just like that pull that you have. I don't know, you get a lot a bit obsessed about something and you want to see how far you can take it. So yeah, it brings me so much joy and it just like it fills me up. So yeah, I just want to keep doing it forever now.
What was the photography scene like you're from Townsville originally,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And now you're in Hobart?
Mhm. Yep.
I did my research. I'm not too bad, guys. Yeah. What was photography like in Townsville compared to where you are now?
Yeah, it was good. So when I sort of started getting more interested in it at work, Tony, she's actually my old boss, and she was a member of the North Queensland Canberra group up there. So she invited me along to that years ago, and yeah, just sort of that little group. They're really, really good, really social. They organise heaps of stuff. Maybe sort of looking a little further out from Townsville and surrounds, there's a few more things that go on, like up at Mission Beach, and I know Cairns has got their own photography group as well. So yeah, it's there. There's heaps and heaps of hobby photographers too. So it's definitely there, and there's definitely a really good community. Hobart's a little bit more, I think. I don't know. I think it's a little bit more art focused further south, maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. I might be wrong. I may not have been looking in the right places. But yeah, I think it's definitely more conducive for it down here.
It's great to hear that there is photography communities everywhere. A fun photo series that you also have that you emailed me. Am I getting the name right? Tools of the Trade?
Tools of the Trade, yeah.
These photos are quite unique. They're a little bit scary, if you don't mind me saying that.
Yes, yeah.
This is a different type of portraiture work. You don't see the backsides of these people.
No, I don't think they'd appreciate that.
No, probably not. Tell me about these photos. What made you want to do them?
So I think sort of working within that kind of STEM area, just being exposed to all of these really super inspiring women. And I guess like the only way to sort of really capture that was with my camera. So I actually asked Dr. Rebecca and Hayley and their manager there at Pathology Queensland if I could take their portraits, and those portraits were actually done in the morgue. So I brought my little portable studio with me to the morgue, set them all up. I did a few environmental ones as well, like with the scales and things like that, but yeah, these ones were good. I liked sort of asking them what their favourite tools were to use and why and things like that, and then yeah, just sort of having that connection with them as well, because I'd done like heaps of jobs with them beforehand, obviously very somber, specific to that particular case that's going on. So yeah, coming in and just sort of getting to know them a little bit more was really, really cool.
I've been thinking, because you've got the interesting background of coming from forensics and now you're establishing yourself as an award-winning photographer. I'm trying to think, is there a parallel or like something that you can do, like forensics photography? Have you considered that?
Well, I mean, when I was in police, they do have a photographic section. So I did sort of think about that, but they sort of downsized that area a lot. But I don't know, like I think I'm doing a lot of salt printing at the moment. So that's really sort of you using all of your solutions and stuff like that to develop your prints. And it's definitely giving me like that sort of nostalgic feeling of being back like in the lab, working with my chemicals to develop prints and stuff. So I guess there's that. I haven't put up any of that work yet. So
What draws you to wanting to shoot analog and with film and develop your photos?
I think it's just sort of felt like that next step to being more hands-on with it and to being more tactile. I really liked the last few times of being able to print my work and seeing it like really big, or just printed out, even if it's A4 or something like that, seeing it printed out and being able to look at it like that is so different to seeing it like on your phone or on the computer screen. It actually turns it into something, like it's not just ones and zeros on a screen. So being able to have more input into how things turn out is really, really interesting.
It's interesting that you bring up with print and analog, because a lot of photographers nowadays, they have to have a portfolio on their Instagram and a website, and you're totally right. You lose the feeling of seeing the photo in person.
Yeah.
So, how do you manage, wanting to pursue the analog side of things whilst also maintaining a digital presence?
I probably don't maintain my digital presence that well, to be honest.
That's all right.
Yeah, I think imposter syndrome is definitely there, and I reckon 90% of the images that I create don't make it up onto anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know. You just sort of, I don't know. I think it's just who I am. I think it's, probably too shy. It's hard to put yourself out there. It's, hard to sort of, you worry about what other people think, but at the same time, you'll be looking at something and just absolutely loving it and loving like everything that you did to get to that point. But I don't know, I still find it really hard to put it out there.
That's interesting. So the activity of photography, and especially film and the analog stuff, it's more about the activity itself rather than the final product?
No, I still want to create something that's like beautiful, that's interesting. I still want people to sort of take a moment when they look at it, but you are right. Like, it's that process. I do really love that process of you're making something with your hands still. It's and I know it's just a different medium when you're digital and when you're using Lightroom and Photoshop, and I still really enjoy that too. But actually having like a roll of film or doing stuff to it, I really, really enjoy it.
Do you have any dream projects or anything like that, a bucket list item perhaps?
I'd really love to do more tools of the trade stuff. I don't have the contacts down here yet in that environment. Like, I did a little bit with this amazing pilot Kim when I was back in Townsville. So even if it's not purely in the scientific field, I'd really love to sort of explore that type of thing and get back into a bit more portraiture, because I haven't done that much last year at all. It was just all uni. So but I've been working on, like I said before, like a lot with the salt prints. So definitely want to explore that a bit more, because there's so many different ways that you can do it. So, and every time I see a different way of doing it, I'm like, I need to try that. I need to try this one. I need to try that technique. So I don't know. There's so much stuff. I really need to write a list.
No, that's all right. It's great to see that you've got the fire in your belly and that you want to keep trying.
I need someone to keep me like in my lane though. Just do one thing and finish it first. Before I jump into something else and look at that. Yeah.
I'm actually a bit the same. I, as my creative outlet, write screenplays and like miniseries and things like that. And I've got like 4 different ones that I'm plodding along at the moment, but they're all like so different. And I'm like, hold on, I should finish one, see if this works, then jump to the next one. And I'm tapping into different genres as well. And it's like, suddenly it all blends into one.
Yes. Yeah. It gets a bit much. And then you've just got to concentrate on one thing at a time, Cassie.
The way we like to wrap up this podcast is that the previous guest leaves a question for you to answer, not really knowing who you are or anything like that. And the question for you today is, what is your favorite focal length?
Oh, gosh. Okay. I think I usually sort of tend to range between like maybe 50 and 80. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about that range?
I think it's sort of, I don't know, there's going to be haters for this word, but I think it still has like enough compression. And I think with portraits, it's really, really lovely. And I think that's just what I end up working with a lot. Like I know with my 24 to 70, I always end up at 70. And Mamiya is a 80 that I've got on there at the moment. So yeah, I think, yeah.
Congratulations on a few things, taking the step into studying photography and making the career change. I know that's a bit scary as well, and you've done one of the biggest moves you can make across Australia, now that I think of it, from Townsville to Hobart. So good on you for pursuing this, and congratulations again for your runners-up photos in
Thank you
Australian
so
Photographer
much.
magazine.
Thank
It's really
you.
wonderful what you've achieved.
I'm still pitching myself.
If you want to find out what she asked our next guest, tune in next week. But otherwise, thanks again for coming on the podcast, Cassie. It's been lovely chatting to you.
Thank you so much. You too.
No worries. See you next week, everyone.